Margaret Cho joins us, a comedian for over 40 years. And I got to say, I'm embarrassed to admit, I wasn't very familiar with Margaret Cho, the musician, hardly at all.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a huge part of your life. This is all new to me. But when did you start playing music? Did that come before comedy?
Yes. I was in a band when I was 5. I was a singer. And I got fired because I couldn't stop waving at the cameras. We did all these television shows when I was a really little kid, and I just waved at everybody. So I got fired, but I would always play typical Asian, growing up playing piano at recitals.
Yeah.
And my mother's a guitarist, and my dad's a pianist, and they both sing. So I've been singing my whole life.
How did you start in comedy though? That came from the family. Were your parents also, were they funny people? Were they comedians in any way? Well,
my dad wrote joke books, and he is a funny guy. He would write jokes for speakers to use in speeches and then this is in Korea. And so he is very dry. He's still very funny. I find my mother to be really hilarious as well. So they are funny people, but they're not stand-up comedians. I don't think they understand stand-up comedy exactly. They still don't really get it, but they're really happy, obviously, because they're very famous at the assisted living because I'm their daughter. But they are, they're funny people for sure.
40 years, they still don't get it, huh?
Well, I think I'm very crass. So they get embarrassed. This is like my mom turns her hearing aid off when they're coming to see me.
Yes. I'm curious, how is, when you approach writing a joke, are there any similarities when it comes to writing a song?
Well, I have a notes app thing, and I have jokes on there, and then song lyrics. So there is a kind of cohesion. There's a similar place where it comes from, but then when you go down to actually put the song down, and you have to sort of match it to music and match it to a mood and figure out what instruments are going to go with it. It's a very different process. Whereas with a joke, you take the sort of raw material of the joke and then you work it out in shows and you practice it and practice. So there is similarities, but also very different.
So did you ever start writing something, start writing a song and then realize maybe this would be better as a bit, as a joke, or vice versa?
I think so. Yeah, for sure. You kind of have a sense of an idea that will come through better as a song, or an idea that will come better as a joke, or, it's these things are really always just about being tuned into your creativity. I mean, the most important thing is just to write everything down. As an artist, as long as you record it somehow, it'll be used somewhere.
I listened to Lucky Gift, which is the title track of the new album. That's out on February 14th. And it's got a real, and I just want to let people know, this isn't a full-on comedy a la Weird Al album. I mean, you're writing legit songs here. Some of them have humor in them, but Lucky Gift in particular has this lush, and this is just how I hear it, a lush kind of 90s Amy Mann kind of sound.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's a high compliment. She's a good friend of mine.
Oh, good.
Yes. I wanted an Amy Mann record, produced by John Bryan. John Bryan is my old producer. So I learned a lot about music and production from him. So there's a Boston Strong, for sure.
Nice.
But yeah, Amy Mann is the best.
What other kind of music do you listen to that brings inspiration to your music? You said you were, you started playing music when you were very young, piano lessons and stuff. What was some of the stuff along the way that you took in that comes out in your music?
Well, I'm very much a 90s, Lilith Fair, kind of person. I love all of those artists, whether that's Joan Osborne or Sarah McLachlan or, anybody in that could have been Lilith Fair. Fiona Apple is a really huge influence and somebody that I've written with and sung with. Patty Griffin, just incredible. I'm also really excited about what's happening with music now with women, with Chapel Roan and Sabrina Carpenter and Doechii. I think they're all incredible.
And you are also doing your stand-up tour. live and livid comedy tour. March 14th at the Wilbur Theater here in Boston. I'm sure a venue you've performed at several times over your career. Do you have any memories of the warm and charming and friendly audiences of Boston over that time? Anything that stands out?
It's the best audience. Yeah, it's the best audience at the Wilbur. I really want to film a special there. I really want to, if I make a comedy record there, because it's the best place to actually do comedy. It's the way that audiences just really love it. They are really just so enthusiastic and just so excited to be there. But yeah, I absolutely love the Wilbur.
Are you going to be playing music on this leg of the tour?
I'm separating the music shows, so I'm actually doing some music shows right now in LA for my record release and also later for the Grammy Museum. But I've started to figure out exactly what the thing is. Is I think I'm going to do stand up. Maybe I'll do just Lucky Gift. I'll have to see, but it's a stand up show for sure. Is
the Mandotar going to make any kind of appearance at these comedy shows? I'm fascinated by this.
It's the best instrument. It's like the rarest thing. I can't find another one. I think I have to actually have one made. I have to figure it out. But yeah, it's a double-necked guitar mandolin, and I found it once at a vintage guitar shop, and I've never, ever seen anything like it. And that's what most of this record was written on. That's what gives Lucky Gift so much of the high-low voicing. But yeah, it's a really special instrument.
Please, when you do a music tour, it's call the band the Mandotars, Margaret Cho and the Mandotars. I will. That's pretty awesome.
That's a good idea.
Do you know anybody, or do you know anybody that knows John Paul Jones, who was in Led Zeppelin? Because that's the only other time I've seen something that you've described, is him playing it.
Yes. I actually know him from Nickel Creek. He always hangs out with Nickel Creek, which I think musically that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, he's a big
totally
mandolin
makes
guy.
Sense to them, so I have to ask him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's the only other person that I know the Mandotar from. So it's you and John Paul Jones.
Perfect.
All right. Well, Margaret Cho, thank you so much. March 14th at the Wilbur Theater. The live and livid comedy tour will be there. And then don't forget the album Lucky Gift will come out February 14th. And hopefully we'll see you back here for a music tour, too.